What's going on, guys? This is Greg Farley from the Wise Guys, and I'm here with the main homie, Joey Wheeler himself.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again. He's on the Wise Guys. What are we here for, sir? I see some shenanigans. I see some Psyframe, so I already know what we're in for,
You
man.
know, man, just I like to keep the Yu-Gi-Oh community honest, man. I'm here at KC Mo, and these boys they just don't know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, so I'm teaching them how to play a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Psyframe definitely does teach you how to play Yu-Gi-Oh. Let's jump into this deck profile.
All right, so as everybody knows, you got three gamma.
And how many cards is in this deck? Because I see your hand looks full.
Come on now. I can't tell you my secrets. You know, big 6-0. That's how many's in here.
So we got 60 card Psyframes, starting off with three gammas for the effect negation.
3 beta.
And what does beta do for the newbies to the Psyframes?
New guys, it says when you think my field's clear, it's not. It blows up a monster on your opponent's side of the fields and ends the battle phase for each person.
So it's your version of Valkyrie.
Right,
okay.
Exactly.
I got you.
So then we have 3 delta.
3 of them things.
It's my spell negations. Basically negates and summons a driver and makes a big guy called a mega.
I heard that guy's pretty good.
3 alphas.
Now what does this guy do?
He is my searcher. He allows me to search any Psyframe card in the deck except for himself.
Except for himself.
Yes, sir.
Because that would be unfair.
Oh, you know, there's nothing about this deck is fair. 3 epsilon, well, 2 epsilon. I'll play another one later on, but I'll show you this one. These two were all the new trap cards that are coming out, like the Witch's Strikes, Impermanence, the Evenly Matches, all those types of things. This just deals with it, gets it out of the way, and then I can plus off of there and off of the card being thrown in the graveyard.
And Eradicator as well. I heard this has been kind of popular online.
That's why I put it in there, man. There's just so many trap cards that are just coming up that are just actually very spicy. So I don't want to run into them. Of course, you see my hand. Somebody would hit me with a permanence would hurt a lot. So definitely got to keep this card in a ready shotgun scenario.
Got you.
Okay. Then we have one multi-threader. Multi-threader is okay. It does save your field from being destroyed. If they would negate the card out of your hand or whatever, it can't be destroyed. So honestly, it's pretty decent. And also you can use it from the graveyard to recur resources as well as the recard itself. So yeah.
Awesome.
And then the brains of the bunch.
3 of them things.
3.
So the Brick Master himself, if you've ever used Gamma in your side decks, but in this deck you need 3.
Yeah, you need 4, but we played 3.
Yeah, you need 4. Shout out to Threader.
And then this is the spice for the night. We got
Let's stop
Time
the tape.
Lords,
You
sir.
just gonna slip Time Lords in here like it's all good.
Oh, did I mean to do that? Oh, my bad, dog. Yeah, this is called Time Lords Psyframes, but nobody never gets that until the last second. So,
AKA Time Frames.
there we go. I took this to Nats last year, and did very well with it. Went outside the bubble, and I decided to bring it back.
I scrubbed out really early in that, so I just got to sit there and watch you troll people all day with this deck. But this is the water one does what?
It gets rid of your opponent's their spells or traps, period. Just knocks them back to the deck.
Face up or face down?
Face up, face down, doesn't matter.
Face down as up?
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave that alone.
Yep. And then the guy that hurts really hard.
Oh, so this is the money guy.
Mekion, yes sir. He's that one where you go in a battle phase and your opponent looks at you because they can't do nothing to stop him. Neither one of these time lords can be destroyed by card effect or by battle, and I don't take any battle damage. But when they trigger, they have special effects. The water one gets rid of spells and traps. This one gets rid of half your opponent's life points.
And I'll make sure to add a little bit of a story time in between, or you could tell the story, but it was really.
You go
funny.
ahead, tell the stories.
So at Nats, this actually happened. I'm just gonna kind of keep it on this, but so Brandon plays against Trick Stars, and they get into game 3. The guy summons Candina gets to Lycurgus, sets, stares at the clock. There's like 40 seconds left, or there's like 45 seconds left. It says pass. Brandon draws for turn. He gets burned by Lycurgus. Brandon summons this guy. The guy reads the card for about 10 seconds, looks back at the clock, sees about 30 seconds left. The judge is standing behind this guy the whole time. He finally says, and then he tries to fan his graveyard, look back through his hand. Brandon said battle phase, basically trying to stall for time. And this card just absolutely stole that guy's soul. Shout out to him, whoever he was. He was really salty.
He comes to KC Original. I know who he is.
He's probably a really nice guy, but to watch somebody try to burn for 200 cheaply and then get their life cut in half,
Yeah, and then this guy is sneaky good.
Now what does this guy do?
Say if I had my opponent has Borlow Dragon on board. I normal summon this guy. Again, this is Time Lords. Going into time, if I go to battle phase, or say for instance it's Omega, my opponent has Omega on board, I go to battle phase, and I use Raffian to attack Omega. My opponent takes his attack as damage.
So a ring of destruction effect on legs, basically.
But it doesn't do anything to the monster, so it's not destroying it or anything else.
Now, obviously, you probably get people out of there pretty quick with the Time Lords themselves, but you're good in time too.
Yeah. I played this deck since it came out, man. I know it frontwards and backwards.
Word. But
yeah, he's very good. Nobody thinks about him, but against a lot of these big monsters that are coming out, he's the perfect solution to the problem.
Awesome.
And her righteousness. Time Maiden herself.
Now, Time Maiden is the Stratos for them? Or?
She is the Stratos. She has a Cyber Dragon summon, as well as she tributes for cost to search one to your hand. And then, if that's not enough, she can banish herself out of the graveyard to special summon one to the field. So, you can do what you want when you think about it, but this card is really broken. Very broken. I've won a lot of games just because of this one card and people not knowing how to play it. Here's the thing, guys. Don't ash this card. You ash this card, that's fine. I am going to hurt your feelings.
So this is the bait and switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do not ash this card, guys.
It's because he plays Gamma.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well, that too. And then this guy hurts feelings as well.
Ooh, I like that. I like that because why? Now, why do you like this guy in this deck?
Oh, let's see. Ultra guys. How about that? How about Sky Strikers? Any back row that has any type of interruption that can possibly happen on your turn. When he hits the field, they start thinking real hard. Yeah. Because he tributes his cost. I can negate something right behind it with a Psyframe monster, like Gamma if I wanted to, if they had some type of way of monster effect, or if they had a spell effect, I can negate right behind it. So I tribute this cost and pop something, or even bigger, this guy has 2,600 attack points. For Psyframes, we have a problem with having monsters with attack points on board. So he stays on board until your opponent decides to go, hey, I'm done with him, and then you tribute him and pop something, get rid of something on their board.
So he's just profit no matter how you look at it.
Either way.
And he gets out of your way for you to do something.
Exactly.
So he's a perfect card for Psyframe.
Exactly. Man, you know her Infinite's big head, Ash.
5-head girl.
There you go. You know exactly what she does. The only reason I play two is because the third one's not really needed until I know what I'm playing.
He's playing a deck full of hand traps, guys. So
I'm sorry. I mean, that's what we call it, right? Hand traps.
Handtrap.deck. So he doesn't need 3. You can have 3. But,
right. Exactly.
That's up to you.
And then more hand traps. Artifact Lancia.
Now, how many times have you pissed somebody off because you main deck?
Let me see. Thunder Dragons?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Now why? Why do you main this?
So, on Thunder Dragon's turn, if I wanted to Black Rose them, I can use this at the beginning of their turn to stop any banishing from happening. And then when they do something that I do not like, or say they load up their board, I can Black Rose them, and there's nothing they can do. They can't save themselves. They can't banish cards to prevent themselves from being destroyed. And so I call it the Black Whirlwind, because once I activate Landseal, you should be scared and not do anything that turn, honestly. But some people do, and then they walk right into it.
So for you, it's like another copy of the field spell as well?
Oh, yeah.
Because your Psyframe stay on the field?
Oh, yeah, that too. And the funny thing about this is when I activate, like, if I activate this, and then later on in the game, later on in the turn, I activate a Psyframe monster, the Psyframe monsters will stay on board even after the turn ends, because this says till the end of the turn.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, so then we get to the spells. The most important spell is Psyframe Circuit. What can I say about this card? It's the only reason why Psyframes exist. Psyframe Gamma, Alpha, when they are both special summoned, either way, allows me to synchro summon either this big guy here or this big guy here, or any other synchro monster that I can muster. So any of these guys I can summon on your turn.
Yeah, I got you.
Then we have Psychic Field Zone. It allows me to take my banished Psyframes or banished Psychic monsters and put them back into the graveyard and synchro summon a monster of the level of the monsters.
I sent some Cosmo Spikes one day. I'm just gonna leave that alone.
Maybe one of these days. I've actually thought about that.
So, do you secretly, you're the only one with LAMBDA in the world right now? Or are you the only one?
Hey man, if I would be going to that nice what was it, Chicago?
YCS Chicago. Yeah.
YCS Chicago.
I couldn't go because my buddy is getting married on Sunday morning. God forbid. Pray for him because his wife made him get married on Super Bowl Sunday. Pray for that man.
Pot of Duality. It just allows me to look at cards. I gain advantage by looking at cards, by knowing what cards are coming out of my deck.
Cool.
And then to get to choose.
Word.
Everybody knows what that card does. This allows me to get any trap cards that I need out of my deck. There's one specific trap card that you see later on that really runs well with this card. 2 Terraformings. And it's only because you can only run 2.
You need to see the field spell.
I need to see the field spell. And yeah, Alpha and a couple other cards give me the field spell, but I'd rather just do Terraforming. 2 Pots of Desires. And then 1 Foolish Burial. Everybody knows what Pots of Desires does. We're not going to even stay there. Foolish Burial is for like different little monsters that I need to get out at certain points in times. Everybody knows what Foolish Burial does.
The Time Maidens is your main target for that?
Yeah,
or
that too.
Threader.
That also works. And then there's the trap card, the Sniper of the deck. And this card, you can't say too much for it. It searches everything in your deck except for itself. And then it takes out your opponent's back row, their monsters, whatever. It can take out your own cards, put it that way. So, again, another Terraforming. I need to see the field spell. I want to see it, and my opponent takes it out.
Yeah, moving on.
And then the just retarded cards. The enemy evenly matches. Sorry. You always, most of the time you want to go first, but even if you go second with this deck, this card is deadly. And then to be able to draw the extra card and then be able to evenly match your opponent, put them back a turn, and then set up your field the way you want it to and pass, that kills your opponent. They can't do anything to really do anything after that at all.
I got you.
And then this bad boy himself, another hand trap. Oh, what a surprise. Except for this hand trap is broken. Absolutely broken.
And if God forbid there's a field floodgate against you,
right? Then you just nuke the floodgate as well as the monster. It's absolutely retarded. I can't say too much about it other than that.
Getting that young extra deck.
And then, as you guys know, we'll go through this pretty quickly. Play the 1 Omega. Most people are down on this card, but I think this card is actually a boss monster. 3 Zeta. Reason why 3 Zeta you're running around with Link monsters, Synchro monsters, Fusion monsters, and all these monsters can be taken out by this one guy.
Mm-hmm.
And and that's what hurts most decks is this one guy. Omega is irrelevant. This guy is what hurts every deck.
Because it interrupts their play that they're trying to go off.
Right, and it takes monsters right off their board. Enough said about this guy. My friend Greg said, "Hey, dude, why aren't you playing this against Sky Strikers?" I looked at it. I was like, "Man, damn, I hate when Greg's right." Hey, next week it was in Sky Striker.
Yeah, so it pay 1,000 and negates a spell or trap.
Yeah, if your opponent would target any psychic monsters with spell or trap cards, it negates it. It can do it multiple times in a turn. So yeah,
I see.
Spice. Stardust Dragon. Card is broken. It removes itself from the board. First of all, because Psyframes need cards to just remove themselves from the board by negating your opponent's destruction. So, like, if I put this behind with the Omega, and then somebody decides to destroy my field spell on my back row, I remove him off the board and negate it, and we're done. And then my Omega can remove itself off the board too. So it makes it really, really spicy. And then we have one of our retarded monsters because of life points. Everything's about life points. In Yu-Gi-Oh, if you're winning, if you're losing, it's because of life points. So
this is a
this
massive
guy,
knockout punch.
yeah, he boosts himself by a life point difference between you and your opponent, and then knocks out something that's on the board that's a threat. So he's broken. Really, just nobody really knows about this card. So yeah. We play 2 Black Rose Dragons. Self-explanatory. We all know what they do. We don't do them because they're plants.
So when people overcommit, you just
I just blow them clean up out of the water.
the field spell facilitates that, I guess.
Yes, sir. That, and then I also combo with multi-threader, and so I save my own field as my opponent's field's been destroyed.
So multi-threader is a level 6 then?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Again, life. She gives you life. Psychic. Life tracer. Sorry. You banish 2 out of your graveyard, and then gain 1,200 life points for each one.
So you combo her with field zone sometimes?
Yep. Psychic field zone. Then we have this bad boy here. Normally I don't use this guy, but when I do, there's certain circumstances, like at the end of a game, where you're coming down to time, you have the lead, or you want to grab the lead. You play a lot of 8 synchro monsters, so you exceed for him, and then you attack your opponents directly with him, and then you can do this multiple times per turn. But say the next turn they have 2 cards that you don't want to go off, you can negate both of those cards in that same turn. So because that monster's on the board, it does cover me not being able to play Psyframe monsters that turn.
Oh, okay. Get you back to your turn again.
Right. Then we have
Flare Metal, because you got so many 7s.
Flare Metal Dragon, 2 Zetas. Not being able to do anything with Zetas, I'll make him, and then it makes it so your opponent starts losing life points because they're starting to do stuff. Anything that they want to activate, they pay damage for. So yeah.
Okay.
And then this is my spice. Nobody really plays it. It's with Psychic Field Zone, an Omega, and a Gamma or a Delta. You can make him, and you can put your Omega back when it gets banished, and hook it to him by his effect. If it's in the graveyard or the Zeta's in the graveyard, hook it to him, and then tribute him off for like a driver, and then bring that Zeta and that Omega back to the field. So it presents an OTK.
I got you.
Yeah. And then we have just some side cards, just a bunch of side cards, different side cards I can use, but
It's really flexible,
it's
however you want to do
flexible.
it.
I mean, there's no, besides the Ash, Call by the Graves, there's a lot of things that can be changed in the side deck. but just ones that I love to use in variant. And then these two cards are very important in this metagame.
Alrighty. Well, that was a very interesting roguish deck profile, and shout out to you, Joey Wheeler.
Saying peace. Hey, soon you'll see a Red Eyes build. Have a good one.
Yeah, we're gonna get a real one. Shout out to Team Sam though.
Yep. Peace.